Well, it's hard to believe summer's almost over and you're buying school uniforms and supplies, but during your back-to-school preparations, don't forget to head to the doctor's office for those all-important immunizations.
Dr. Iyengar, Bradenton Cardiology Center and Daytime's resident doc, is here to tell us why these back-to-school immunizations are vital to your little one's health. I got all mine.
Well, this is a real hot-button issue. I think a lot of people kind of struggle with, should I get my child immunized or not?
Yeah.
And first and foremost, I'd like to state that the evidence for supporting immunizations is overwhelming in the positive. So I think that we really should emphasize to people at home or parents at home that if immunizations are a question, talk to your pediatrician, and especially talk to your school board or what your school requires prior to moving forward with the immunizations.
And you can talk to multiple pediatricians about it as well, just to get a group of people to give you information.
And that's exactly right. You don't just take one opinion. If you really have questions and you're really concerned about is there relations to other disease processes, which we know autism is people are talking about now, but we want to rest assured to people at home, there really isn't any scientific evidence supporting vaccination use and leading to autism. So the positives of getting vaccinations really, really overwhelmingly outweigh the negatives.
Let's talk about the ages of the kids that need these shots. At what age do we start getting? Well, I know obviously when they're babies, but now that they're in school, when do they need them?
Yeah, preschool to 18 is
Okay.
typical the age. In each school district, each basically area of the country will have different regulations of what type of immunizations to get. There's about 14 or 15 different disease processes that we want to avoid with vaccinations. So the school board will kind of tell you which you need to get, and there's usually booster shots too. They may get it when they're 2 or 3 years old, and 10 years later, like pertussis, they may need to have a booster shot done at that time as well.
Okay, so what diseases do we actually need to vaccinate against?
Like mumps, measles, rubella, diphtheria, whooping cough is one of them, polio obviously. So these are processes that, you know, historically had killed thousands of children, and now we've really avoided that with vaccination use. There are a little bit other ones that are a little bit more controversial and newer, like the HPV vaccine for girls and even boys at this point, potentially 11, 12 years old. That should be really individualized. That should be something that you discuss with your doctor and your child, obviously prior to moving forward.
Okay.
We're seeing some of these diseases coming back now that we thought we had eradicated because there are a lot of people that aren't getting these immunizations. Am I right?
And that's a very touchy subject too, because I think parents have to realize it is your right. If you're homeschooling your child and you feel that there is a risk of getting some side disease or side effect of these vaccinations, not to have your child immunized, but then you see the recurrence of polio, you see the recurrence of whooping cough, these types of processes that we had taken care of with the vaccinations. And if the child gets it, there's a potential of spreading it to other siblings who haven't been vaccinated as well.
What about this particular season or this particular year? Is there anything going around right now, or that, as we mentioned, that's possibly coming back that we should be on the lookout for?
Well, pertussis, whooping cough specifically, and that's something that's been in the last 2 or 3 years. There's been over nearly 10 deaths secondary to this from children who have not been vaccinated. So it's important to really understand that these are preventable disease. You know, we really want to make sure that if we can do something about it at an early age, we should do it.
And we think of vaccinations, we think of our kids, we don't think of ourselves as adults, but we need them too, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I think the flu vaccine is really important.
Okay.
Because, you know, historically, flu virus has caused pandemics throughout the world. And I think that we should understand that if you have any type of, shall we say, immunocompromisation, or you're someone who is an older age, over 65, or any other health risks, get the flu vaccine. It really does make a difference.
And what age for children and little ones should they start getting it?
Well, normally the flu vaccine, I would suggest that we would start with the regular vaccinations first, and obviously if there's immunocompromised issues, that should be individualized with the physician, because we don't want to load them up on too many vaccines if they don't need it.
Okay.
So for parents out there who are watching who have any questions about what kind of immunizations they need, go to your school board?
Pediatrician first.
Okay.
Second, then talk to the school board to see what they require. But definitely, if you have any questions, if you feel that your child's getting too many or too little, get another opinion. But definitely don't ignore it.
Okay. All right, Dr. Iyengar, thank you very, very much. Hey, if you would like to learn more about back-to-school immunizations, find Dr. Iyengar on Facebook by going to our website, which is daytimeonline.tv. He's right there on the home page. You see his little face right there? Click on it, and you'll be linking up to him, and you can ask him questions yourself.
It's very easy.
Yeah.
All right, there's more Daytime ahead, so don't go anywhere.
The 8 on Your Side helpline.